Hello guys, it's me Washington. Today we are gonna go in one more tutorial and we are gonna talk today about lines, right? And what are the difference of lines in Max splines from splines in Max to lines in Blender. And we are gonna we're gonna talk about different aspects about performance and how the lines in Max works really well, and how you can get similar results, how you can get similar outcome in Blender of what we normally use lines for. I'm working in a archivist industry since 2020, no 2011, sorry. And since there we have been modeling a lot using lines. Lines are something very common for who works in archivist area, and this is something that probably is one of the most difficult things from who translate from Max to Blender to understand and like accept, because Max lines approach is really well done. It's one of the biggest and most powerful tools in Max, right? This is a very complete tool. I love it. How the line works in Max, how easy and straightforward it is to do things here, you know, and it's very handy for most of the things like late. For example, do you remember we talked last time about late, that we can like wrap up a line here and create some geometry, right? The sweep modifier also, the sweep modifier also, and those kind of things are those tools are tools that we use a lot in ArcViz, and we miss that when we go to Blender. We don't think that is that easy, because we see first a very weird object when we try to draw a line, and I'm gonna show you right now what is that about and how and why you don't need to be afraid of it, because lines in Blender are really cool also. Maybe it's not as complete as 3D Max, but it's not bad at all. You can do lots of things, and you can do in some things that Max cannot do, and you can do in Blender also. So side by side, I would say I would prefer Max line approach for most of the things, but because I got used it with the Blender, with how line works in Blender, I would say I like how it works in Blender also. Okay, let's cut the shit and just to jump to the main guy. Okay, this is first of all, you press Ctrl A or Shift A, and you have your mesh, and you have your line, all the objects that you want to create, right? Okay, let's say if you press Shift A, you have the mesh, surface. This is more nerves, curve, and I'm talking about line. I'm talking about curve in Blender, right? And I'm talking about curve. A subtopic, it's line, but I call it line because I'm very used to calling Max spline and line. So that's why. Don't complain. Don't complain. Let's follow this. Okay. I like to draw a line from beginning for a point, because the main line that Blender creates is a kind of weird for me. It's awkward. I don't like it. I prefer to start to point. First of all, when you create a curve in Blender, it goes right away to edit mode, right? For example, if you create a path, where is my path? Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. Let's create curve. Okay, let's create Bezier, for example. If you go to Bezier, right, there's a difference from these guys here, the main lines, and those lines here. Those lines, they go straight forward to the edit line, and these guys here, no, these guys here create a kind of just the object, right? So it creates the object. So you have your line here. First of all, you can see it doesn't create a straight line. It's just Bezier, just to show you that it's a Bezier. But if you go to edit your line, you are gonna see this. You say, oh my goodness, this looks like a very dangerous insect. I'm not gonna play around with Blender anymore. That's so ridiculous. No, just be careful. Just be patient. Yeah, give it a credit, man. Come on. Look at this. This is a line, right? So you select a vertex, you play around with your vertex, right? And here inside the edit mode, it obeys. It's the same process as edit mode for whatever mesh, polygonal. So you can rotate, scale, and transform in the same way, right? For example, R, you rotate, G, you move, and S, you scale, or you can use your gizmos. You remember that? You can use your gizmos to translate, to scale, the same thing, right? I don't like the gizmos because I got use it to don't use it, so do whatever you want, okay? So this is weird. What is that? What is those legs? No, that's because Blender by default it comes with the handles active and the normals. This is showing where the normal goes, and this is very important. For example, if you want one object to follow your line, animated through your line, you know that the object is gonna go from here to there because it's following the normals, right? And by default, you can change it. So, and how the shape behave in your line, it's according to the normals also. That's important, but you don't need to see that, right? You just see if something goes wrong, and then you press here, and then you see your normals. But you really don't need to see that. So I like to remove it, right? And you see all the handles of your object, right? This is the first difference. This is the first difference, right? If we go to 3D Max, let's remove the sweep modifier, right? We go here, we select all the points, we see those beziers, right? But if you deselect, we don't see anymore. We see what is selected, right? That's very good. I like more this, and I would tell you that just today, or was yesterday, Pablo Vasquez is one of the Blender developers. He just showed up that the new Blender version, the 2.9, it's gonna be like Max. It's not gonna show all the handles at once, just what you have selected by default, but you always can change this here because it's gonna have an option here. You can tweak it and say I want to see all of them, or I don't just want to see what is selected. And the new version is gonna come with the normals, not on, but just like this, you know. So don't get confused. It's gonna be better, in my opinion, and probably in yours also, that I use it to max. So that's the thing. I'm not gonna start the line from this because I want to show you a few things, right? I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna start a line from a point, and this goes straight to the edit line. So you can use the same shortcuts as you use for editable poly. It's the same thing. Shortcut for extrude E. Okay, you start to extrude your line already, right? You press E and you keep going, and that's okay. You can select all. Right now you can select your handles and change it, right? Like as you want. If you want to make them smooth, you select all of them with the right mouse button. You go here in handle and set up automatic, and since it's gonna smooth out everything. But if your handles are in automatic, right? If your handles are in automatic, whatever you do here in the rotation, it's gonna rotate everything. And if you move around, it's gonna move around everything because it's automatic, right? To be free, you have to select everything or whatever you want to select, and then you go free. And then now you have your freedom to do whatever you want, right? And then you keep going. If you want to close your line, it's the same shortcut as edit poly. That's why I like Blender a lot, because it preserves, no matter what mode you have, it tries to preserve the same approach everywhere. It's the same approach. Even if you go here, let me show you. Even if you go here in your animation drop sheet, right? If you have, let's say, let's create an animation, very quick here. Here, and then we move here. Okay, we have these two guys here, even here, if you select them and put your timeline, I don't know how they call this guy, the mark here, and you press S to scale, it's gonna scale your entire animation, right? It's gonna scale your keyframes. If you press G to move, it's gonna move. If you press R, it's not gonna rotate because it doesn't make any sense, right? You rotate keyframes. So yeah, basically that's all. So Blender try to preserve the same approach everywhere, even if video editor or everything is like that. Okay, if you, in this case, because it's the same as poly, if you want to close your line, you just select both vertices and press F, and then you close your line, right? And then your line already close it like this. Why? Because it's in 2D mode, right? Blender has a 2D mode and a 3D mode. 2D mode means that it never goes on Z axis. No matter what you try to do, right? It never goes on Z axis, right? And in 2D mode, the line works pretty well and pretty much similar to Max. Why I'm saying that? If you don't want to see this close, you can go here and put none, right? It's the fill mode. You can put back or you can put front. You don't see the difference here, but you will see none. So you see, you just have your line, right? And if you go here, I'm gonna make them just pure vector, right? I'm gonna delete these guys just to keep going. Just to keep going, right? Come on, I did something. Oh yeah, because I have these two lines here. This is my vertex. Oops, I did something here, guys. I don't know what I did. Sorry, but yeah, I don't know what I did. I did something wrong. Okay, let's select both guys here and delete the segment, right? And now we keep this and set up as a free. Is already free. Okay. Oh, because it's, oh yeah, but I subdivided by mistake. Right, by mistake I subdivided this. But anyways, okay. Yeah, I mess around with my line. Ah, what I did. I did something wrong. Let's make it to poly. Okay. And then we have the line. If we want our Bezier back again, we go here and then we put Bezier, right? So we have the, I did something. I mess around with something. I press some shortcuts and I don't know what I did. Okay. And then you can keep going, right? Like you can keep going, extruding here, the same way, right? And you have 2D and 3D, right? What is the difference? The difference is that 3D, you can go up, you go down, like whatever basic line in Max you have it, right? Let's make it automatic, so we have something more like this. Okay, so first difference in Max, you don't have a tool for align your vertices, right? As you have in your editable poly, for example. If you draw a box here, for example, right? And you have it, and you have these on these guys here, for example, right? You can select these guys and go here, look for the X you want to align, and then press, and then you can align here, right? You can do the same in Blender, but the difference is in Max you cannot do this in a line, right? Let's say you go to your line, then you go here, right? Select your vertex, put it up, and then now you want to align. You don't have this easy peasy align tool here, so you have to go here and have your snap on, and then goes here. The problem is, if this guy is like this, you know what I mean? You cannot, you never align it. You would never align it, you know? And here in Blender, right? As the same thing you can do in your edit poly, you press S, which means scale, and then you press which axis you want to align, like for example Z, and you press 0. So all of them align, right? That's very handy. That's very cool. I use it a lot. I use this all the time. For example, I want these guys to align on the XX. I press just scale X 0, right? I use this all the time. This is very useful, right? And if you just did that once, you can keep doing this, like just press Shift R, which repeat the same operation, right? And then you keep doing the same thing, right? You keep doing the same thing, and you're gonna align all of them on axis, right? That's something cool. Okay, but let's make this vector, and then I'm gonna show you what is problematic here. The problematic here thing is that, for example, the way you can see your geometry here, like you can see in Max, choosing render option, and you can choose here. You can choose rectangular, you can choose radial, right? If you choose rectangular, it preserves the same thickness everywhere, right? Let's make this. I'm gonna make the vertex corner so we can see better what I'm talking about. You see? It preserves the same thickness. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you see how amazing it is? This is amazing. I love this, and we need to use this a lot on ArcViz. At least I use to create oh my goodness, I forgot. To create lots of things, walls and all of that. Anyways, here in Blender, the way you can see that is giving a depth. You're giving a depth to your mesh, right? And it seems okay, but it's not. You can see here, it's not following straight the line. Let's make this polygon. So you see, right? You see this? The reason is because it's 3D, right? It doesn't preserve the thickness. It's useful for lots of things, but not if you want to have a hard surface which follows measures and follow all of that, because it's not gonna be cool. It's not gonna be cool at all. The difference is this happening because it's in 3D mode, right? If you put 2D, voila, it becomes like Max, right? It becomes like Max, and you have your tool here, right? You can go pick up this guy, close, right? Put your both, so you have this geometry here, and you can give it an extrude, right? We can do whatever you want, which is in Max they are just modifiers, right? But here they are like this. If you go to 3D, it changes the whole thing. If you go to 3D, it changes the whole thing again, because this goes just half full back and front, which means that it's gonna analyze which is the back, which is the front, which is full, you know, and it's gonna basically cap the entire thing. because the extrude it's just extrude, but keep it this open, right? In 3D. 2D it's different because you have the option for both sides and then you close, right? Easy. You guys understand that? Okay. And what can I how can I do this? uh, what are the difference? Okay, I just saw here the difference that probably in Max is better in this regards. Not this because I think to have the bevel and the geometry here is something very handy. I like it. I like it a lot. The good thing about Blender is because because it preserves the way you model, so you can always extrude from here, for example, right? And then your lines keeps going, right? You have these options that you don't have in Max, right? Let's say let's make this a Bezier, and you always can do fancy things here and there, right? Let's say that your mesh is like this. You can pick up these two guys and make this align, and then it's gonna try to make the alignment encounter perfectly the other vector the other vector line. This is very handy because let's say sometimes you have a corner like this, right, in your 3D, and then you do this, right, but it's never perfect, and then you pick up these two guys and then you align, and then they align perfect, you know. So basically you don't need to be picky, you just need to do something that makes sense, and this is gonna align, Blender is gonna align for you. For example, you pick these two guys, move it here, right? These two guys move it here. Probably Blender is gonna do this. I don't know. Align. No, it aligns perfectly here. You see? The same thing is gonna happen here. You pick up this guy, align, and align perfect here, and here pick this guy, you align. It's gonna, and then it's gonna curve. Try to fit, you know. I'm gonna explain you what I'm talking about. For example, if you select your vertex, I like always you can just copy the vertex, right, and start a new line from here, right? New line from here, and then you have your corner, right? You have your corner, let's say, and then you pick up these two guys. You do this, and you say, oh my goodness, and now you go here, you align. You see, it aligns perfectly the tangents. This is very handy, also very handy, right? Because you can create corners easy instead of trying to match the alignment, you know. This is cool, I like it, and this is something very handy. For example, let's pick up, for example, this line here and delete the rest. Let's delete the rest. Pick up these. Let's apply a modifier. Screw. Do you remember this? Screw modifier. And then we go here. We copy a couple of vertices, put on UI, right? So now we have our screw modifier going on. Amazing, awesome. Right? We select these guys, and then we have the possibilities here. For example, you can just do these guys here, align, see, go inside, align. See, you can pick up these guys, extrude, right? And while you're seeing these artifacts, don't worry about this. This means nothing. This means because you have lots of normals going in different directions, right? and then you fix this after you convert into a mesh. But for now, you can keep going, you can keep doing lots of things. For example, you can pick up this guy here, extrude again. That's a very powerful thing that Blender can do, and Max is a bit more you know. That's something that you can do a lot here in Blender, those kind of easy things, you know, that you always can do here. It's pretty good, pretty good. I like it a lot. So yeah, we can pick up these guys, make this apply. We have to leave the edge poly, right? And then we can take these guys and convert into mesh, right? So now we have the mesh here. And then we select everything. I think I had duplicated the line. I had duplicated the line, yes. And then let me see if I can clean up this here easily. I don't know. Okay. If we go here, let's give it another shot. Here we apply the modifier, screw, put Y, and then repairs E. Now it's gonna be okay. If because those vertices got green, it means something. Probably it's a command or something that makes the vertice get green. Did you see there was? Let me show you. You see, if I go to edit mode, you see they are green. This means something. It means that I duplicated something here on the line, right? And this is kind of weird. Probably is some option here that I don't know. I don't know everything in Blender, right? I always do when something weird goes on like this. Probably this is something useful, right? If you guys that are watching me and know Blender more than me, and it knows what means those green things, just let me know, right? If you go here and maybe you recalculate normals, no, okay, I don't know, you maybe tell me what is that, but let's anyway, to reset this we can always go here and put it into poly, right? And then we can just delete this vertex, pick up this vertex, and we start again. But for some reason, okay guys, we are gonna figure out here what is that, right? We can pick up these guys here, and I don't know what is that. No idea what is that. BG, no. It's something that happened here with these guys that I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it's something useful because when it goes green, if you are modeling, I think it because you sharpen the edge or something like that, or you sharpen the some faces, right? And then it becomes it shows as a green or as a yellow if it's a seam, something like that. I don't know what does that means. I'm gonna research and then I will post you later. So to do the example, let's go create a line again, right? Extrude here and there so we can see it's fine. It's the color is fine, it's okay. And then we can go to Modifier, press screw, put in what? Right, so we have a screw here. We go here, align, we align. We can go here, something like this, something like this, right? Something like this, and we can align here, we can align here, right? And then we can keep going, just extruding, right? Extruding like this, like we did before, you know. Select this guy, extrude, you know. So we have another line here. Take this guy, we extrude, right? Extrude like this. Take these guys. Put something like this, right? And then you can create whatever geometry you like it in Blender, because you have this possibility of going extruding, 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 right? And then at the end of the day, you just move away, convert your mesh, voila, you have your mesh here. You go here, subdivision, surface, you subdivide it, no subdivided, you solidify your surface, right? Then you are giving kind of thickness on your surface. That's amazing. Go here, press auto smooth, remember that, right? And then you press put here 50, maybe goes here, apply your weight and normals, right? Put 50, keep sharp, right? And then you have a very nice geometry. You apply everything, apply, and then you have your geometry. What I was talking about, the green thing on the line, is because things here in Blender, they are very useful, but I don't know how to use them. For example, this means that the seams are here. The blue means the seams, right? But you always can go here and make it sharp and make it seams. Oh, the red means seams, the blue means sharp. So this means that those areas are sharp. That's why if you move out, you see that these areas are sharp, right? If you go here and instead of a seam, you make it a sharp, make sharp, you see that you make these edges become sharp compared with on the normal side, right? And this is very handy, and probably the green thing that appears on the line, it's something else. I don't know what is that, but probably it's something good that it looks like a bug, but I'm just gonna research more about that, and I'm sure that I will discover that, and I will post you. I hope this was useful for you guys. The main thing was to understand how the line works and how you can preserve the thickness using the 2D, not 3D. And we are gonna go more into lines in the future, because there are lots of things that I want to show you. It's very useful, handy, and you are gonna like it. I know that, right? See you next time. Bye bye.